Have you ever found yourself quietly whispering, "I should be over this by now"? Maybe it's a thought that comes to you in the stillness of the morning, or late at night when the world is silent and your heart feels heavy. You wonder why the pain still lingers, why the memories still echo, and why moving on seems so much harder than you ever imagined. You might even feel frustrated with yourself, thinking you should be stronger, or that enough time has passed for the ache to fade away. But the truth is, no matter how many days, months, or even years go by, sometimes the ache just doesn't let go. It lingers quietly, showing up in unexpected moments. A song, a scent, a place you used to go. It can feel like a shadow that follows you, even when you're doing your best to step into the light. You've tried everything you know, praying for peace, pouring your heart out onto the pages of a journal, letting the tears fall when they need to, and telling yourself it's time to move forward. You've read the books, listened to advice, and maybe even put on a brave face for those around you. Yet, despite all your efforts, it can still feel like you're standing in the ruins of what once was, surrounded by memories, questions, and the ache of what's been lost. It's as if you're searching for a way out, but the path forward isn't clear. If that's where you find yourself today, please know this: you are not alone in your struggle. So many others have walked this road, feeling the same weight, the same longing for healing, the same hope that one day the ache will ease. And even more importantly, you are not forgotten. Your pain matters. Your story matters. There is hope, even in the waiting, and there is comfort to be found, even when the ache lingers longer than you ever expected. Take heart. Healing is not always a straight line, and it's okay to still feel the ache. You are seen, you are loved, and you are never alone on this journey. Healing can feel impossible when you've been dismissed or invalidated. Sometimes, the pain of not being seen or heard by those around you can make your wounds feel even deeper. When your feelings are brushed aside, it's easy to start believing that your struggles don't matter, or that you're somehow weak for feeling them. This sense of invisibility can make the journey toward healing feel like you're walking through fog, unsure if you'll ever find your way out. Or maybe the person who hurt you has moved on, and you haven't. You see them living their life, laughing, making new memories while you're still carrying the weight of what happened. It can feel like you're stuck in the past, replaying moments over and over, wondering why you can't just let go. The world keeps spinning, but your heart feels frozen in time, waiting for something to change. Or when trauma has rewired your body to stay in survival mode. Your mind and body are always on alert, bracing for the next hurt, even when you're safe. Everyday moments can trigger old fears, and it's exhausting to feel like you're always fighting an invisible battle. Sometimes even rest doesn't feel restful, because your body hasn't learned how to relax again. Nights can be the hardest, when the world is quiet and your thoughts are loud. You might lie awake, replaying conversations, wishing you'd said something different, or wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. The silence can make your pain feel even more intense, as if you're the only one awake in a world that's moved on. Maybe you've tried to forgive, but the memories still sting. You want to move forward, but the past keeps pulling you back. Forgiveness isn't a switch you can flip. It's a process, and sometimes it feels like you're taking one step forward and 2 steps back. The ache lingers, even when you're doing everything you can to heal. Maybe you smile in public but crumble in silence. You put on a brave face for others, but when you're alone, the mask slips and the sadness returns. It can feel lonely to carry pain that no one else sees, to pretend you're okay when you're really struggling inside. You might wonder if anyone would understand, or if you're just too sensitive. That's not failure. That's being human. Healing isn't a straight line, and it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. It's about giving yourself grace on the days when you feel like you're falling apart. You're not broken for feeling this way. You're simply human, doing your best to survive and grow. And your healing doesn't have to look like anyone else's. There's no timeline, no right or wrong way to mend. Your journey is yours alone, and it's okay to take it one small step at a time. Even if progress feels slow, every moment you choose to keep going is a victory. You are worthy of healing, just as you are. Isaiah 61 says God gives beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. These words aren't just poetic. They're a promise, a glimpse into the heart of God's healing. When we're broken, when life feels like it's been reduced to ashes, God doesn't simply sweep away the pain or ask us to forget. Instead, he offers a transformation that is gentle, patient, and deeply personal. He wraps us in comfort, clothing us with hope, even when we feel weighed down by sorrow. God's way is not to rush us through our grief or to demand that we move on before we're ready. Instead, he sits with us in the silence, in the heaviness, and in the questions that have no easy answers. That's not just poetry, it's a divine process. Healing with God is not about pretending the pain never happened. It's about allowing him to enter those broken places, to sit with us in our sorrow, and to gently begin the work of restoration from the inside out. He doesn't skip your pain. He sits with you in it. He listens to your cries, understands your fears, and never rushes your heart. In the quiet moments when you feel most alone, he is closer than your next breath, offering comfort, understanding, and a love that never lets go. God restores slowly but deeply. Like a gardener tending to fragile new shoots, he nurtures us with patience, allowing us to grow at our own pace. His healing is not a quick fix, but a journey, a process that honors every tear, every question, and every step forward, not by pretending it didn't happen, but by rewriting what it meant. He takes our stories, even the painful chapters, and weaves them into something new. The scars remain, but they become part of a greater story, a testimony of survival, of hope, and of love that endures. He'll use even this to teach you, to free you, to show you that your pain is not the end of your story. Through every trial, he is shaping you, giving you new strength, new wisdom, and a deeper sense of compassion for others. God's way of healing is different. He rebuilds the pieces of your life in ways you never imagined, creating beauty from brokenness, hope from despair, and a future filled with promise. Trust the process. Even now, he is making all things new. You may not feel healed, but here are signs you're healing. You no longer need their apology to move forward. You've stopped trying to prove your worth. You cry, but now you also laugh, and you choose peace, even when anger feels easier. And, healing includes days when you feel like quitting, but you don't. That's healing too. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from wisdom. Everything you've survived, every prayer you've whispered, every day you chose to stay alive when you didn't feel like it, all of that has become sacred ground God will use to launch your future. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'll never be whole again, take this truth with you. You already are. Not because of perfection, but because God is in your story. Healing isn't a destination. It's a daily yes to become who God always saw in you. Comment healing forward if this is your season to begin again, and let us know how you're moving forward.